When that fight started, Aaron Pryor made all the difference in the world when he came out and forced Alexis Arguello to fight a fast fight. That's not Alexis' style. He wants to warm up a little. And when you fight a guy as talented as Aaron Pryor, you have no choice but to engage. Because the problem with Alexis, he didn't have legs anymore. And once you lose those legs against Aaron Pryor, well, you're stuck. You know, how do you respond to Pryor? He was quick, he could punch, he had power, he had everything a great boxer wanted, and he was young. And Arguello tried to dip into those reserves, and they weren't there anymore. For some reason, the legs were gone. And if you've seen a fighter who loses his legs, it's a sad, sad reality for a lot of fighters. Because he still had the power, he could still turn on his punches, but he couldn't move. And that is part of the reason why he lost that fight, is he couldn't put himself into position to punch. Now, throughout the fight, middle rounds, he landed some great punches. Late rounds, he landed some great punches. But he never adapted to Aaron Pryor. Aaron Pryor adapted in the middle of that fight. He was so intelligent in the ring, and he never got that credit. Because outside of the ring, he was a different, exuberant personality, and that kind of overwhelmed everybody. But inside the ring, he knew exactly what he was going to do as soon as he stepped into that ring. And I think that's what really kind of took through Alexis for a loop, is that I got to fight fast, but I can't anymore. And in the middle rounds, I can't adapt. I can't change up. I can't make any changes to how, in order to adapt to how Aaron was fighting. So by the late rounds, and by the time he knocked him out, you know, a lot of people understood the reality of what had happened. And Aaron, you know, this was Aaron's fight. It was his show. They say it wasn't a boxing match. It was a show. It was his show. And although Alexis had his moments, he couldn't put combinations together. And also, he didn't understand how to, you know, if Aaron came out in those last couple rounds and he changed it up. He would box, he'd step back, he'd step around, throw punches to the body. And by those last couple punches where the fight was stopped, I wasn't there, but I understand what happened there. And it was probably one of the saddest moments in boxing history. I really believe that when Alexis Arguello went down, it was the end. And anybody who said, you know, he came back, he knew he was going to come back. All fighters come back. But it wasn't the same version. It was this poor replica of who he once was. And Pryor ended him. And how do you cope with that?